Today I've completed 50 days of juice fasting and I have lost 50 pounds, give or take a couple pounds since I haven't been able to weigh for a week. Um, I won't know for 2 weeks from today, until 2 weeks from today exactly what I weigh, but I can tell by the way that the clothes are looser and a few things have changed, so I know I'm down a few more pounds since I was last able to weigh, so it's kind of exciting. I wanted to just do a brief video today about some of the things that have changed for me in the last 50 days. And some of this is hard to talk about because I didn't want to talk about it when I was 50 pounds heavier. So, making those admissions of just what everyday life is like for somebody who's morbidly obese is not fun to talk about. But I know there's some of you out there who understand it because you've lived it yourself. And I guess my greatest hope is that this message can reach someone who is struggling the way that I was 50 days ago, and that you can realize that you can make a deliberate decision and make a change to stop feeling bad all the time. Because that's kind of where I was. Being fat was in the back of my mind. It still is now, but knowing that I've, kind of got some momentum built up and that I am working towards a goal and that I've actually accomplished more than just a 5 pound weight loss followed by a 10 pound weight gain for the first time in many years is kind of a big deal for me. So I hope that you'll consider, it doesn't have to be anything as extreme as what I'm doing. Just make one small change and start doing it every single day, and don't give up on yourself. Because when you give up on yourself, like I did for probably the last 6 or 7 years, it doesn't get any better. It just keeps getting worse. So in the last 50 days, I would say one of the things I really appreciate is that I can now tie my own shoes without any problem whatsoever. And that might seem like something that everybody should be able to do, but it would hurt like my stomach and chest when I put my knee up to my chest to lean over to tie my shoe. It just wasn't comfortable. It's almost like I had to hold my breath to get it done, and now I can do it without even thinking about it. I can also just lean over and tie my shoes, which I couldn't do before from a standing position. I can pick something up off the floor. The floor doesn't seem quite so far away. I can now sit comfortably. Something I hadn't even noticed. I was having to make accommodations when I sat down because my lungs were being crushed and didn't have enough capacity to actually breathe. And so I would sit back and lean back. And you'll notice that pose with heavier people, that it's not comfortable to just sit upright because your gut presses against your lungs and your rib cage, and you just feel like there's something sitting on your chest. And so you do whatever you can to expand that space and make it so that you can breathe easier, even if it's just for doing leisure, watching TV or reading a book. You'll notice that we'll tend to stretch out for comfort. I can also climb out the back door of my house. Our house is under construction and the back deck's not completed, and so one of my kids, or perhaps my husband, has cleverly placed the old pool ladder next to the back door, but you would have to actually step out onto it and then climb down. And not only did I not have the confidence and balance that I could do that 50 days ago, but I was afraid that my weight would collapse the pool ladder because it's not very sturdy. So a couple weeks ago, when I had parked my motorcycle out back, I climbed in that door for the first time and started realizing that I could do it now, which I wasn't able to do 50 days ago. I can also fit into a stretchy pair of size 20 jeans. I don't think I am a size 20. I think I'm probably still like a size 22. And I think at my biggest I was like a 26 or 28. But these jeans fit comfortably, and my size 22 stretchy jeans, which were the only ones I had been wearing for months and months and months and months, are loose. And I have another pair of pants. I haven't bought clothes in a very long time, other than maybe a couple shirts from the Walmart clearance rack. I could never justify spending money on clothes at the size that I was, and even the size that I am. I don't want to spend money on clothes. But the shirts that I did have are getting very big. The armholes are getting big, big enough it's like exposing my bra underneath, and so I probably need to buy some smaller shirts. And I have two pair of kind of stretchy, they weren't really leggings or anything, just like stretch lounge pants, a navy blue pair and a gray pair, which are basically the only thing I've worn to sleep in for months. And they're getting way too baggy to wear around. They just hang, and they used to be, snug. Now I have to tie them up. So noticing the difference in my clothes. And then lastly, I have a willingness now to take a step on a non-level surface, which is something that somebody who is obese and clumsy, a lovely combination, I know, is reluctant to do. Yesterday at Zion Park, we hopped over onto a large rock face to get a group picture taken, and you had to step over this tiny little ravine. Well, I'm sure that 50 days ago it would have brought fear into my heart to have to step over that, because I would have been afraid that I wasn't going to make it across, that I would fall and hurt my knees or something. And of course, that's a huge fear when you're fat, is ending up hurting yourself and in the hospital, and needing like two people, or needing four people to carry you because you're so ridiculously heavy. And then the last thing that I wanted to mention is that 50 days ago I had a constant daily problem with swollen feet. I work at a desk most of the day, and at the end of the day my feet would be so swollen and they would hurt to actually walk on them. And I also had my toes would just be like little sausages, just tight stuffed little things. And now I haven't had swollen feet in at least 5 weeks. I would say that probably stopped about 2 weeks in, and I haven't mentioned it before, which makes it also nicer for fitting into my shoes and boots. But I think that's probably a combination of the lost weight as well as the higher nutrition, more drinking more water. I think I had looked up some stuff on edema, and there were various reasons that somebody would have feet that were that swollen every day. But it's all gone, so I'm happy. I'm really excited to see what changes the next 50 days bring, and thank you for watching.